Good morning, fathers of daughters. This is Ephraim B. Martin. Welcome. All fathers are welcome. This is another live stream. Grow Dad YouTube channel. How are we doing today, fathers? It's another Sunday, and just want to welcome you. And got another good live stream going on today, fathers. Today's live stream, fathers. Oh, before I go on, I'd like to just mention in the right-hand corner, I'm doing things a little bit different with my live stream, getting it together better every week. As you can see on the top, you see Grow Dad YouTube channel. On the bottom, you see subscribe, like, share. To the right-hand corner, you see my book, Daddy's Girls, which is available at Amazon.com. And you can get that through the link. It's also in the description. So just wanted to let you know that, fathers, and appreciate you. So today, fathers, what we're going to be discussing is Grow Dads, fathers of daughters. We don't give up our masculinity raising daughters. And I felt this was a pretty good topic to discuss and go a little bit deeper into what that looks like and what that means. You know, when you're a father of daughters, a Grow Dad, society's not going to, a lot of times, look at us in a favorable light. And we just have to make sure that when we are fathers of girls, of our daughters, that we understand what comes with that. Because in today's world, you know, my daughters are older. I have 4 adult daughters, 2 millennials and 2 Gen Z. So what we're dealing with today, we're dealing with Gen Alpha girls. And they're teenagers. They're 14 years of age. So for the next 12 years, this is what you fathers who are millennials are going to be dealing with. Gen Alpha girls. And next year, the first born boys and girls 2025 will be Gen Bravo. So fathers of daughters, you know, we have a lot on our plates as Grow Dads, as fathers of daughters. And, you know, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, being a Grow Dad. So I've got some excellent videos today, as I always do on my YouTube channel. And like I said, I just want to go a little bit deeper when we're talking about our masculinity, when we become Grow Dads or fathers of daughters. We don't lose our masculinity. Actually, it enhances our masculinity, because what daughters force us to do is, a lot of times, we have to go back to our own childhood as little boys. And since most men may not, well, we've never raised girls to begin with. And so many of us are new to this, you know, having little girls. There's going to definitely be a learning curve. Okay. So the masculinity piece of it is your daughters are going to force you, trust me, because I have 4 adult daughters. They're going to force you to learn how to become unconditional. They're going to force you to learn how to become selfless. And it's a beautiful thing, because when you have a baby girl and you start thinking about all the bad stuff we did as little boys, and, you know, some of us as adult men, it makes us check ourselves on many, many situations. It makes us check ourselves in just our environment. We look at life, I believe, in a totally different lens because of our baby girls, because we provide protection and safety, and we don't want anything to happen to them, fathers. So, you know, we become a lot more sensitive, a lot more compassionate, a lot more empathetic because our little girls are going to push us in that direction. And like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. So, in today's world, there's more and more fathers that are staying at home as well. They're raising their daughters while their wives work. Now, I know a lot of men and women may have issues with that. I've never personally had a problem with that. I think each family is unique. Each family needs to do what's in their best interest. So whether it's the mother that's working or the father's working or both, you have to do what you have to do to get your kids from birth to 18. And, since COVID happened and a lot of folks have lost their jobs and the economy just isn't what it was. So a lot of adjustments have to be made, fathers of daughters. And a lot of times, a lot of men are electing to become, home dads and taking on the role of raising their children while their wives go to work. So that's always going to be a topic of discussion. And, you're going to have men on one side saying one thing and, some men support it, but most men, I can tell you, they don't. But you got to do what you have to do in your best interest as a father of your children. And if that's what's in the best interest of them, rearing them and making sure that they're protected and safe, good for you. If you're in a position to do it, good for you, because I can tell you the amount of money that's being spent on daycare, before and after school, raising children. I had those same costs, with my wife when we were raising our daughters. So I just remember the cost of before and after school, and you paying for their lunches, and there's just a lot of economics that's involved. So like I said, I definitely respect any father that would take the initiative to even want to be at home with their children, excuse me, that would want to be home with their children, because traditional roles, mothers are nurturers, fathers are protectors, bring protection and safety. And, we live in a society where we still have those traditional roles. And a lot of times, decisions got to be made. Sometimes it's not in the best interest for both parents to be going to work. Sometimes it's in the best interest for one parent to be at home, making sure that their kids are getting what they need, not only at school, but at home and, in this world, and just making sure they end up becoming decent young people and turning out to have that compassion and have that empathy. All we want for our children, fathers of daughters, all we want for our kids is that they end up, when they turn 18 years of age, with our guidance as their parents, is that they end up decent human beings, that they become an asset to the world, not a liability, an asset. That's what all parents strive for. All parents are striving to ensure that their kids become the best complete young human beings they can become. And then once they turn 18, they get grown and they're going to make their own decisions. Trust me, all my girls did. So, just enjoy the stages of development, getting them to 18, and enjoy the journey. It's a great journey. I loved fatherhood. I loved it when my girls were little, going on all the field trips with them and, doing all the stuff at school. So I was blessed to where I made sure I participate in everything that was available to me at the primary grades in middle school, K through 8, because high school is 9 through 12 now. So with that being said, fathers, I've got some great videos that I want to share with you. It's going to be a pretty extended live stream today, because the videos I'm sharing with you, I think they're important. I think they're needed. And there's discussion that needs to take place. So like I said, I welcome all fathers from all cultures, from all ethnic groups, from all backgrounds. Thank you for being available. And feel free to participate. If you're watching, you want to comment, feel free. I'll put your comments up. And yeah, fathers, let's get it going. Okay. Let me get this first video. It's ready to go. Okay, let's see. Here we go, fathers.
Welcome back. When Austin von Letkeman walks down the street, he gets a lot of attention, mostly because he's got 4 adorable daughters in tow.
Well, Austin recently went viral for a video he posted on social media voicing frustration with people who don't seem to understand it is actually amazing to be a girl dad. So they're here. We're going to talk to the entire family, but first, a little bit of the backstory. Austin von Letkeman is a military intelligence officer at Fort Cavazos in Texas. In his free time, Austin is a content creator with more than 1.9 million followers.
I need 2 volunteers.
He's a big, burly guy with tattoos up and down his arms. He's also a girl dad.
I love having girls. I love being a girl dad.
Austin's daughters are 9-year-old Aubriella, 8-year-old Gracelyn, 6-year-old Everly, and 2-year-old Linnea. He says every time he goes out with his girls, people approach him and make one comment. They say, "I'm sorry."
All my kids can speak and understand English. They know what you're saying. Hurts their feelings. I'm not sorry that I have daughters.
He's a dad who's ready to stand up for his little girls.
Funniest thing is if you ask them why, they immediately get very uncomfortable. Why are you sorry? What are you getting at here? I actually had one person get mad at me one time for asking why. Don't ask me silly goose questions, and I won't give you silly goose questions.
Austin worries that his daughters will internalize those "I'm sorries" and think less of themselves just for being girls.
There's nothing to feel sorry about. And it really is very hurtful to my daughters. So if you meet me in person and you see them, please stop doing that.
Austin says his girls are intelligent, funny, strong-willed, and sweet, and he wouldn't want his family any other way.
If I had a 5th child, I'd hope it was a girl.
Yeah, I mean, amen. All the girls said amen. Yeah. Austin is here along with his wife, Kate, and their 4 beautiful girls, Aubriella, Gracie, Everly, and Linnea. Good morning, ladies and gents. Do you want to say who's who here, Kate?
This is Everly,
Hi,
Gracelyn, Aubriella, and Linnea.
Nice.
So are you surprised, Austin, the attention that this guy, I mean, you have almost 2 million followers. Yeah. You're kind of a big deal already. But
I think you have more than we do, for sure.
You actually do. But this struck a chord.
Yeah, well, it was outside the realm of what I normally make videos about, you know, because a lot of what I do is like military humor, you know, maybe some inspirational or leadership content. And so I just made this video because it was in that day specifically. I can't remember what the person said, but somebody said something to me. It happens so frequently at this point, and I made a video about it because it's hurtful. We've seen their faces, like when people say this kind of stuff, they clearly register it. And so I made that video and not expecting it to do what it did.
I'm sure, like you said, a lot of people say it. I was looking on feeds and I saw someone saying it at a concert. That's kind of normal. But there was a point where you said that that's not cool. Did your daughter say something to you, or did you just say to yourself, I don't want them hearing this kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, it was Kate that they said something to. For me, I just notice, you know, their faces, you know, they get kind of down when people say stuff like that. And, you know, that's what I noticed.
What did you think, Kate, when people say, I mean, it's just sort of a dumb, corny old, oh, I'm sorry, with all these girls.
It's like dated.
But I mean, so I'm sure no harm is intended.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, what did you think when you'd hear it?
So it's hard because obviously no harm's intended, right? But at the same time, I want to teach my daughters to stand up for themselves. And I could tell that the way their face would drop when people kept, you know, on and on. I mean, we get it a lot, you know. Yeah. So we decided to start saying something back.
You know what? It's early, and you guys are from the Central Time. It's even earlier for you.
Aubriella, when you saw your dad's video, what did you think?
I thought it was cool.
You did? You thought it was cool? How come?
Because my dad noticed how we were feeling, and he felt sorry.
Did you feel that way? Were you like, why are they saying that?
Why are they saying that? Why do you think they were saying that?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know either.
It doesn't make any sense at all. So what's your message, Austin?
Yeah.
I mean, having 4 girls is quite fabulous. It sounds like you're up for a 5th. I don't know. We'll have to talk to Kate about that.
Yeah, I'd say my message is to register that when you're saying something, especially in the presence of children, they don't understand humor. They don't understand the sarcasm, right? And so they're taking what you're saying as exactly what you're saying.
Well, what do you love about being a girl dad? Let's turn it.
I love, if I'm laid up on the couch, if I'm sick, at some point in the day, 4 different little girls have snuggled me. You know, they're just sweet. They come over, hug me. They're just so excited to see me at the end of the day. And the dresses, right?
Yeah.
The cute little dresses. I love everything about it.
Graceland, do you like having a famous dad? You think it's pretty cool? All right. How about you, Everly? You do too. Well, we want to thank y'all for waking up super early to hang out with us. And we're so happy about the message you're sending. It's super cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, you can find more of their story on our website, today.com.
We're back in a moment. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show.
Okay, fathers. Video number 1. What are your thoughts? You know, I have 4 baby girls too. So it's crazy. I mean, I definitely, when I saw this video with him and his baby girls, it brought back so many memories for me when my girls were little. Except what was crazy for me when my girls were little, I was a magnet for women. I would always take my daughters to the mall, and you just don't see fathers a lot of times with their baby girls, not by themselves, without the mom, right? Your wife, the mother. And I just remember being in the malls. It didn't matter which mall I went to when I had my girls with me. Women would always come up to me and ask me if I needed help with them. And, you know, and it was, for me, it was funny because I'd always look at them and be like, no, I'm good. They're like, are you sure? You know, you got these baby girls. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know, so, you know, when you have baby girls, man, it's just it's a whole different experience. You know, he's got 4, I got 4. So it's crazy, you know, that people would be saying that to him. You know, we feel sorry for you. I don't understand what that's about, but, you know, human beings are human beings. But as you can see, those little girls are going to pull out the best in him. Trust me. And, you know, he's in the military. I was a Marine, you know, USMC veteran. So I just think I saw that video. I was like, got to use this one. It was amazing videos. You can see he's got them beautiful baby girls, and, you know, God bless him, because he's going to learn how he is learning, not learn how he is learning. His oldest is 9, his baby girl, his youngest is 2. So he doesn't quite have a teenager yet. It's going to be a totally different stage for him, and he'll have to make those adjustments. But beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful baby girls, and he's got a real good personality. He's got a real good persona. So, I mean, God bless that man. God bless that brother. So that was the first video, fathers, and we've got a few more, but I wanted to share that because it's important for fathers to share as much as they can with their baby girls. Like I said, I took my girls were little. I took them everywhere. I never left them at home. Whenever I was up and had to handle something on the weekends, I'd load them baby girls up and we'd roll. And it was just, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And really, like I said, learned a lot. Got my girls used to being out with me. I could take them anywhere. Dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever. My baby girls, they never acted up because they were socialized that way. And they, you know, we had discussions before we left. on expectations. And that's another thing, fathers who get to set that. You know, he was talking about buying dresses for his baby girls and, you know, that sort of thing. It's little girls light up when their fathers are with them, going shopping and, you know, doing all their little girl stuff, getting their nails done. That's all coming, and, you know, that sort of thing. So it's cool and it's great. And it's a good experience because it goes fast. You know, I look at my oldest is 35. My youngest is 24. And I got a 29, 26. So they're dope women and they're fun as hell. And I just enjoy watching how they're riding, living their lives, and being the women that they're being, you know, amazing women. My daughters are amazing women. So he's going to get better as he gets older. He's got the father thing under grips. So proud of that man, and God bless him. So he's figuring it out, and he's enjoying the journey, which is the most important thing, fathers. Okay, let's get this second video ready, fathers. Let me get it set up here.
I could make meatloaf.
Let's see. All videos that I use from YouTube are all fair use videos. The majority of my videos that I'm using are coming directly from mainstream media, the majority of them. One thing I'm learning about YouTube is so many people are just sensitive about their YouTube channels, right? For instance, my YouTube channel was flagged because I used a video, a 60-second clip of a video, and I was sharing it of a father with his daughter. And I was promoting it, actually. And I used this video clip like last June or July. It may have even been before then. But 8 months later, I get flagged by YouTube, and they struck my, you know, they gave me a copyright strike on my channel. Right? And I'm just thinking to myself, what kind of world do we live in? Like, I don't care who uses my videos, my live streams. Fathers, if you come across them, if you have another YouTube channel and you could use my videos to make a point or to share them, I don't care if you use them in a reaction video. I'm not, that doesn't bother me. But I'm learning that so many people on YouTube are just so damn sensitive about everything, right? I'm like, if you have little girls and I used a clip, a 60-second clip, be thankful. I mean, don't cry to YouTube talking about, you know, copyright strike them. I will never do that to anyone. I don't get down like that. I'm here to help fathers understand their sense of urgency with their baby girls. And I know by making my live streams that my live streams, my videos they're going to need to be shared. And I'm sure there's people out there that may disagree with what I'm doing and they're going to do reaction videos. I don't care. I'm never going to come after someone for using my videos or my live streams. I'm not, because I'm the originator. So I'm in all my live streams and all my videos. Okay, when this live stream's over, I download it and then I upload it with a different thumbnail for a video. Same live stream. So I end up getting 2 videos out of one day. But I tell you, man, people on YouTube are tripped. A lot of sensitive folks, man. And I'm just like, damn, really? Like, you want to send me a copyright strike? That was crazy. I'm sorry. I digress, but I just wanted to share that. It was crazy. Okay, fathers. Second video.
There's so much more to see. So click on this red button down here, the one that says subscribe, and you won't miss another What Would You Do moment. Enjoy.
Okay, fathers. Excellent video. And once again, needed to be shared. Although it was a dramatization, this is what Would You Do does. Very interesting how the women responded to the women and the men in the video. And it's just, I find it interesting how people just can't mind their own damn business. That's just, I don't understand how anyone, man or woman in society, could look down at a father for rearing his children. That's just crazy to me. And I can tell you, I'm a former state of Colorado juvenile probation officer, and the little girls that I supervised that didn't have their fathers in their lives, tragic. I also worked in K-12 education as a teacher and dean of students. The little girls that didn't have their fathers, tragic, right? So if you have a father that can be at home with his children, and, you know, surround that father with love and be part of the village. Because it's not, you know, I know the traditional roles, respect it and understand it. What I'm saying is every family is going to be different. And if a family decides it's better for the father to be at home to rear the children, that's going to be some of the best experiences you will ever get in your life, because it's going to fall on you. Now you're going to get to see how women feel, right? Making all the appointments, you know, taking them to and from school, taking them to and from doctor's appointments, going on all the field trips, traditional roles that women do through nurturing. So I did all those things with my baby girls. I didn't miss any of their field trips in the primary grades. Didn't miss any of their parties. And it was great to be in the position to do that. So I commend any father that if you and your wife decide that you need to be at home with your children, I'm with you, brother. I'm with all men that would take that on, because they're going to find out it ain't easy at all. You know, time management is going to be key, whether you're at work or whether you're at home. Time management is going to be key. So yes, the next two videos I'm going to share with you are actual stay-at-home fathers. One's 12 minutes and then the other one's, I think, about 5 or 6 minutes. But I want to share these with you so you can see exactly what these men are saying as being stay-at-home fathers. Okay, let me get it set up. Okay, fathers, video number 3. Here we go.
My level of patience has dramatically increased after 6 years of being a stay-at-home parent. The amount of times that you are interrupted mid-sentence. I can go get him. I have a feeling he pooped his pants. My name is Christopher Hughes. I have 2 children, and I've been a stay-at-home dad for 6 years.
I've been a stay-at-home dad for 13 years.
And I've been a stay-at-home dad for approximately 8 years.
I officially became a stay-at-home dad about 3.5 years ago.
There is a new report out about stay-at-home dads.
2 of my good buddies are stay-at-home dads. The work,
It is tough.
I couldn't do it.
We've seen a couple of incredible, tremendous changes in the United States since the 1960s and second wave feminism. First and foremost, it's the dramatic increase in women's presence in the paid labor force. The other pretty significant change, much more recently, just the last generation, is how involved fathers are in childcare.
We've seen a significant increase in the share of hours that fathers spend on household chores and on childcare. That said, there still is a big gap between the amount of time that mothers devote So while we've seen a little bit of a closing of the gap, there still is a significant difference between mothers and fathers. And, part of the change that we've seen is attributable to the fact that many more mothers are working outside of the home now.
My wife is a physician and a professor at a medical school.
I could, have 2 kids during my medical school training and residency because, I had a great support person and who was willing to give up his career.
I began working in restaurants when I was 15 and then worked until I was 30 before I gave up my career to start staying home with the kids.
I was in law school, and then we implicitly decided that it would be best if I stay home with our son and she'd go off and bring home the bacon, so to speak.
I never made the assumption that I would stay home. The assumption that is my wife would. I loved what I did and I was good at it, but I would never make the money that she did.
I had a great opportunity to stay at home. I was a police officer in Detroit and I got hurt on the job. So I was given, I guess you would call it like an early retirement.
It probably would have cost $60,000 a year to have somebody watch our kids.
Because of the prices and me not working full time, we decided that if I were to start working part time, that would barely cover the costs of the daycare.
We were paying something around $1,500 a month for childcare, which was a big chunk of my paycheck that I was bringing home. And it did get bothersome to me that I was working basically to have someone else watch my kids.
People still say that women should be the primary caretaker. They should be the ones who take time off of work when the new child enters the family, and vice versa. Public polling data says that men are expected to be the breadwinners.
So there's this sort of tension between what's going on in the labor force and the achievements and advances that women have made, but then these societal attitudes that are kind of lagging some of those trends.
My mom definitely thought that it did not sound very ambitious to want to be a stay-at-home parent.
A friend of my wife told her that she cannot ever marry a man who's not working. Well, my job is here with me at home when I'm teaching him in school and when I'm feeding him and bathing him, make sure he does his homework, playing with him. Job does not always mean paycheck. Job to me means responsibility.
The experience of stay-at-home dads today really mirrors the experiences of stay-at-home moms for generations. The feelings on one hand of kind of isolation and alienation from others, and the challenges, the mundane, repetitive nature of parenting day after day after day.
You want to give all your Barbies away. Okay. The challenges would be the feeling of not being appreciated sometimes. Like if you spend a whole day doing something and you're so excited, like when your spouse comes home and you want them to like notice that you did something or got something done, that can be tough sometimes because the kids definitely don't, at their age, don't show much appreciation.
One of the biggest struggles that we have is the isolation and your value and self-worth. It is a difficult question to answer because you don't have that external paycheck or that promotion to show you what you're worth to your family.
The isolation and just that sense of being in prison, it can take a toll.
When you're caring for a little one, you can't have a conversation with him outside of Barbies and the playhouse and everything. And there's times when you just want to talk to someone.
I don't believe that I know any other stay-at-home dads in person. I have friends that are stay-at-home moms that I can kind of express our common struggles. They're not identical struggles.
It's really hard because even like on some of the Facebook groups and stuff, it'll be stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home moms. But the large majority, I would send an invite to them and I would never hear anything back from them.
our co-founder, Matt Schneider, try to join a local moms group in his neighborhood. And they very politely and said, you seem like a really good guy, but the way the rules are for our group, it's too uncomfortable. You know, a lot of guys feel isolated and lonely, and we're definitely able to foster a sense of belonging and community to these guys. We were baby wearing our little ones at museums. We were going for strolls over the Brooklyn Bridge, and we were taking parent me classes, and just being surrounded by this really active, hands-on community of dads really enabled me to embrace my role as an at-home dad.
I wrote a book called The Ultimate Stay-at-Home Dad, Your Essential Manual for Being a Full-Time Father, that comes out October 2021. And I hope that that book is able to help the dads in a way that I didn't have when I first started.
If we compare U.S. families with those of comparable nations in Northern Europe, Scandinavia in particular, we find that U.S. family leave policies are pretty meager. So in order to foster gender equality and gender progress, what the countries did is they passed use it or lose it policies, whereby men had to take X number of weeks or months of paid family leave, otherwise it would just disappear. So that policy change really led to a cultural shift, whereby it has become more acceptable for men to be stay-at-home dads. If the United States wants to have similar changes to our gendered work-family arrangements, dynamics, we need to pass generous paid family leave policies. We've seen another spike in the number of stay-at-home dads and moms. Many of those dads, by force, enjoyed spending time with their kids and liked parenting, but ultimately they wanted to get back into the workforce. Their identity was wrapped up in their work. If we compare them with stay-at-home dads who chose to stay at home in agreement with their partners, typically, they were the ones who were much more comfortable with this new situation.
I still enjoy cooking, and I feel that it definitely strengthens my ability to be a stay-at-home parent. And feeling the kind of accomplishment that you do at a career is different than the kind of accomplishments that you feel as a stay-at-home parent, because when you stay at home, you look more in the accomplishments of your family as a whole.
I'm in training to be a part-time firefighter for the city of Farmington Hills. I have the need to be an asset to the family more than I already am.
I feel that I can return to law school when I feel the time is right. And in the meantime, I'm the father, the cook, the counselor, the nurse. I have all these different hats and all these different professions as a stay-at-home dad.
Look, I can chop wood, I can fix cars, I can drink whiskey, I can write a novel, I can do all that. And I can also sew, and I can bake, and I can give people hugs. You know, the misconception that my masculinity is tied to my job is a myth.
Some experts are saying this economic downturn unfairly targets women.
It actually does fall on women disproportionately at home during this time period. The homeschooling, the cooking and the housework, etc., the child care.
We found that working mothers felt like they were having to sort of pick up more of the slack in terms of the childcare responsibilities, whether they had kids who were at home doing school or whether their daycare was closed. And then we also found that women were more likely to say that the challenge of sort of working and raising kids during COVID had negative impacts on their careers, that they felt that they couldn't give 100% at work.
I think if you're two working parents right now or a single parent, it has got to be some of the most difficult time in your life. I do not know how you juggle a job and teaching and housework all at the same time. If I do this professionally, I'm a professional stay-at-home dad, and if I'm struggling, then my heart goes out to you.
Did you have to run right into your appointment?
No, actually, I had her move into the afternoon. She was fine with it.
When my wife is working from home and seeing patients, the kids have definitely either barged into the office and interrupted her calls or banged on the door and tried to get in. And it's definitely challenging for her. I would say that staying at home with my children has aided my wife in her success throughout her career in order to pursue everything and accomplish what she has.
Okay, fathers, another excellent video. And when I was doing my research to put this live stream together, this is why I came up with the name, Why Don't We Don't Give Up Our Masculinity Raising Daughters. We don't. For anyone to suggest we're being emasculated because we're raising our children, it's just crazy, especially when it comes from single people who don't have their own children and look down on fathers for being stay-at-home dads. You know, I do men's groups, and I've spoken to a lot of men that are stay-at-home fathers, and you know, they have the same struggles that a lot of these gentlemen are talking about. They're talking about being at home, being isolated, you know, having to start their own men's group for fathers who are stay-at-home dads because the women didn't want to let them in. That's crazy, right? Now, you know, if it was opposite and a woman wanted to join the man's group, we wouldn't have no problem with it. But, you know, moms are going to be moms, I guess, and do what they do. They only want women. Cool, not a problem. But for anyone to suggest that we're being emasculated, it's just it's crazy to me. I've raised 4 adult daughters, and being emasculated is not part of raising daughters. Being masculine is, because you have to pull deep. You have to go real deep when you're a man, when you're raising daughters. And you have to learn to compromise. You have to learn to make adjustments. You have to learn to listen. You have to learn to hear. You have to learn to provide the proper tone. There's so much involved with raising baby girls that most single men who don't have children and talk about what they would do, you're not going to do jack because you don't have your own kids. It's always been interesting to me when I hear single people talk about married couples or single fathers or single moms, what to do with their kids when you don't have your own children. It's just very interesting, single people who are only responsible for themselves. They always got something smart to say or offer solutions, but they don't have kids themselves. So, yeah. Don't even get me started on that, you know, because when you ain't got your own children, don't talk about your nieces and nephews that get to go home at night to their parents. It's not the same thing. So, but you heard it from them fathers. And I like I said, I have another video here of another stay-at-home fathers that are discussing some other issues as well. So I think there's absolutely no way that we give up our masculinity raising baby girls, raising daughters. There's no way. That's not even part of the equation. So fathers, if you're a stay-at-home father, feel good about it, because at least you know that your kids are getting the best from you, and they're gonna turn out fine. They're gonna be great. And you know, like the gentleman said, $1,500 a month in childcare. That's crazy. I mean, why are you working if you're going to be paying $1,500? Now, that's just in childcare. We haven't included their extracurricular activities, right? At one point, I had all my daughters playing sports. I remember when they were all in competitive cheer at the same time. That was about $2,000 a month. It was a lot of money. And they did that for a few years. And that's what they chose to do. So, you know, parents, it's all about making adjustments and doing what you got to do for your children. And a lot of parents have a difficult time making that transition, fathers and mothers, because if you got a selfish spirit, not going to work, not going to work at all. Okay. All right, fathers, let's get in this next video.
I'm just
Okay, fathers, next video.
Well, this is a fascinating story that Errol and I have been discussing all morning. New data shows that nearly 1 in 5 stay-at-home parents are dads.
Are you surprised? Do you expect that result? Well, Pew Research survey analysis says in 2021, 18% of at-home parents were fathers, which is up 11%
from back in
since 1989. Meanwhile, the overall rate of parents who don't work has been steady. In 1989, 17% of parents didn't work, while in 2021, that was 18%.
So fascinating how it hasn't changed how many parents are staying at home, but the division of labor has
doing
changed.
more.
Well, joining us now is Kim Parker. She is the Director of Social Trends Research at the Pew Research Center. Good to have you with us, Kim. So this gap between stay-at-home moms and dads is closing, but let's be clear, it's still the vast majority of stay-at-home parents are women. Each group cites different reasons, though, for staying at home. Talk to us about those differences.
Yes, they definitely do cite different reasons. So the vast majority of moms that stay at home, and just to get definitions straight, stay at home, the way that we define it, is parents who said that they're not working for pay right now. So they're basically parents who are not employed. So most moms who are not employed say that they're at home primarily to care for the home and the family. 79% of moms say that. A much smaller share of dads who are home say that. They give more of a variety of reasons for being at home, but the share who do say that they're home to care for their family or to take care of the home has gone up a lot over the last several decades. And it's about 1 in 4 today, up from only 4% 30 years ago. So that is become more of a reason for dads to be home, but many of them also cite inability to find a job or disability, some other reasons that are not as common with stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, it sounds as if life circumstances are forcing some of the men to have to stay at home and not work, because your study reveals the stay-at-home dads are more likely to be in poverty than those who work. I'm wondering, how big is that gap? And on a graphic we just showed, it found that the men are doing so because they are either ill or disabled. So what's happening there?
Yeah, so as I said, a significant chunk of the dads who are at home because they're ill or disabled, but the share who are home to care specifically for their families has gone up a lot. So that, I think, is really notable. But it kind of makes sense that these households with stay-at-home dads would be more likely to be living in poverty than households with working dads, because you're going to have at most one earner in that household. And we know in households where the wife is the sole breadwinner, those households have lower income overall than households where the husband or the dad is the sole breadwinner. So women overall still earn less than men do. We know there's a persistent gender gap, and that's particularly the case with parents.
There's a lot to unpack in that. I'm just wondering, as you're talking about stay at home and the specifics of that, where are trends heading? And maybe do we need to change even our terminology? Because I'm wondering if remote work is allowing more parents to physically stay at home while still having employment.
Yeah, it's interesting that came up as we were working on this piece, because we thought we probably shouldn't talk about these as at-home parents, because a lot of parents are working from home now, so the definitions are getting a little bit muddled. But in terms of where the trends are heading, this has changed very gradually, so I don't expect to see any significant spikes or changes in the near future. We know that this tends to ebb and flow with broader economic forces. So when unemployment is high, you're going to have more moms and dads who are not working for pay, obviously, and then they would be categorized as at-home parents. So we do see these sort of mild fluctuations along with economic conditions. But when you take a broader historical sweep, you do see this, kind of gradual rise in dads that are at home and a gradual decline in moms that are at home. So I would expect in the future that it might go that way, but I would also expect to see these, ebbs and flows along with broader economic conditions.
Yeah, Kim Parker, it's all really eye-opening stuff. Thanks for enlightening us, and more power to parents everywhere.
Absolutely.
We enjoy what you do. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, fathers, another excellent video. That was an excellent video. And it was nice that data statistics were brought into the equation to explain currently what's going on with a lot of stay-at-home fathers. And got to respect the hustle, got to respect the grind, because men traditionally being the breadwinners, when they give up their careers, it's huge. In today's world, it takes two incomes a lot of times, right? The average income in the United States, America, is about $45,000 a year individually. So can you imagine two individuals making $50,000 a year? That's $100,000. They've got 2-3 kids. They have a mortgage. They have daycare. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I commend the fathers. A lot of times when the economics of the family is being discussed, it comes down to who's going to be able to make the most money. If the parents got to, depending on which parents got to stay at home. And if it's economically feasible for a woman to go to work, families, you got to do what you got to do. Don't worry about the world. Don't worry about society. Don't worry about other men. You got to do what you got to do. Keep your kids healthy. Keep them right. Keep them protected. Keep them safe. That's what it is. And I don't care what anyone says. If you have not raised your own children, you just may want to keep your mouth shut. That's where I'm at with it, because I know what a lot of single people do that don't have children. They run their mouths, man. Like, you see it on social media all the time. Parents need to be doing X, Y, Z. None of these folks have children. They talk about, if I had kids. Well, you don't have kids, so you don't know what the hell you're gonna do. I mean, it's easy to say when you don't have your own children. You can talk all the trash you want to talk about all the solutions you want to talk about. But if you don't have your own kids and you're not rearing them and raising them, you don't know what the hell you're gonna do. And I always tell young people, since you know so damn much, get married, have your own kids, and let's see how good of a parent you're going to be. Because obviously you got to figure it out, right? Can't nobody tell you nothing. So I don't get caught up in it. I shut it down, though, because I get tired of hearing single people who don't have children talk foolishness and nonsense. I just do. So I have to shut a lot of them down. Okay, fathers, this next video, it's about 3 minutes long, and there's a commercial done a few years ago. It's a football during Super Bowl, and they brought together a lot of these professional football players and their daughters. And pretty interesting. When I was doing the research, I came across this video, and I wanted to add it just so you could see different men with different occupations dealing with their daughters, rearing their daughters, explaining what they have to do, with their daughters, how they're learning on the learning curve with their daughters. I mean, we don't have a daughter, man, and you get one for the first time, most men fall apart. They do. They're happy that they have a baby girl, but they have absolutely no clue where to begin. And that's where I come in. Grow That YouTube channel is here for you. My book, Daddy's Girls. It will help you. My book and my YouTube channel, they're complementary of each other. What I discuss in my book and what I do on my live streams, they're complementary of each other. But you have to get my book in order to understand why my live streams are going the way that they're going, and why I give them the titles that I give them, and why I go deep the way I go deep. My book will explain it to you why. But you have two resources there. Okay, fathers? All right. Let's get this next video going.
Biggest
All right, fathers. Next video. Here you go.
A campaign that millions are watching online. Check out these NFL dads spending quality time with their daughters by trying to tackle their tangles.
I like that.
Sending a powerful message about raising strong girls. Lindsay Davis here to tell us all about it. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, George. Good morning. This video series is all part of Pantene's Strong is Beautiful campaign, which highlights the importance of a father and daughter spending one-on-one time together. And while hairdos may typically be something these rough and tumble guys may not do, they're actually not half bad at it. But more importantly, they're having fun with their daughters doing it.
I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. It's Pantene's blowout new ad campaign, pinning some of the NFL's biggest dads.
The only style that I'm able to do is a ponytail.
Up against their toughest matchup yet.
Catching a touchdown pass is a lot easier than making a beautiful braid.
And inspiring fathers everywhere to get in the game. My dad's giving me a dad do.
Dad do comes from the heart.
Showing that girls who spend time with their dads grow into stronger women.
Just because you're a guy and she's a growing young lady, it doesn't mean that you have nothing to do with her and you can't connect with her.
Featured in the new Strong is Beautiful ad, New Orleans Saints tight end Benjamin Watson and his two little girls. My name's Naomi, and I'm Grace.
And I'm Benjamin. I forget my name. She's going to really judge all men by how I treat her. And so it's important for me to connect with them and do things that they want to do, whether it's doing their hair, whether it's riding bikes. It's about connecting and showing them that they're important and that they're worth my time.
Look in the mirror, who do you see? That strong is beautiful.
Dads can teach their daughters a lot, and it really does help young girls grow to be strong women.
The campaign, also sort of a ponytail playbook for dads who may know football but can't tackle a tangle. Trying for pigtails? Just divide the playing field in half and then gather the team into huddles. Feels like mommy, but he has bigger hands. And just like the NFL, you can spike the ball or your hair.
Do you guys want your hair spiked?
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
Pantene points to research that shows quality time spent with dads is key in raising daughters who are more self-confident, self-reliant, and more successful in schools and their careers. So dads, go out and get those bobby pins, barrettes, and do you guys do your dads' daughters?
I'm obsessed with combing my daughter's hair. I don't know about you, George, but I just love it.
I can't do it. My kids are actually.
I'm not. I am. My wife teases me that I could be a hairstylist.
I love that.
Wow. No, my girls are actually in the power position in our house. They sit me down, put on an apron, and make me up.
Oh,
Well, good for you. For hair to work with. Did they ever put your hair into new do's?
Yeah. You're never going to see them now.
I was just going to say, Allie, please. Pictures.
Okay, fathers of daughters. Oh, that's a funny video. Girl dads, fathers of daughters. Yeah, my girls, my last two, my youngest two, my 24 and 26-year-old, they got me good when I had hair, right? I remember I woke up one day and I had clothespins on my ears. I was in the deep sleep. They got me lipstick, eyeliner, and they were just sitting there looking at me, laughing as I was waking up. They got me good. And, but yeah, I learned, I became good with my daughter's hair. I jumped right in. I didn't have the YouTube videos that you guys have today, so there weren't no tutorials. But when my girls were little, all my girls got curly hair. So my claim to fame is water and mousse gel. Hooked all my girls. I tell you, I hooked them up. My girls always left the house looking like superstars every morning when I got them up, getting them ready for school. So you learn a lot when you're a girl dad, father of daughters, and very rewarding. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I'm glad I had all daughters. Would have been cool to have a son, but my baby girls, man, ain't nothing like them. They're amazing. They are so amazing. Like I said, the time that you spend with your baby girls, the one thing I can promise you, fathers of daughters, they're going to remember the time that you spent with them more than any other thing, more than the material things, the watches, the computers, the cell phones. They're going to remember that time. My daughters remind me all the time, Dad, thank you for spending the time with us that you did. You know, that's what they're going to remember, because as they get older, their time with you, they're not going to require as much time with you, once they get to middle school and high school. So you got to cherish the first 12 years, fathers, because it goes by fast. And before you know it, they're getting out of middle school, going to high school and graduating, and boom, where'd the time go? It's crazy, right? But I just wanted to share that video because I felt it was good. And, just so you could see some professional athletes, how they handle it. It's no, father, it's not going to be easy for any of us, but the journey is well worth it. Okay. I have one more video, and then we're going to finish up this live stream. Thank you for participating, fathers.
Meet the
Okay, fathers, here's the last video.
Meet the dancing, prancing dads of South Jersey, the Daddy Bolts, busting a few moves to support and encourage their daughters. Cheerleaders with the local Lindenboro Chargers Club.
We just, are doing everything we can to show them that, we want to be involved in their lives.
So when asked to strut their stuff in front of a packed gymnasium, the fellows had no idea what was in store.
We are sweating, huffing and puffing. There's adrenaline pumping.
I mean, after all, there wasn't a gymnast in the bunch.
We have police officers, firefighters, military.
After 6 practices, the Flying Fathers weren't fooling around. This was going to be a real routine.
When they seen what we was actually doing, they were like, whoa.
Whoa, indeed. And when it was time to shake and shimmy, there were screams and kudos from the kids.
Just put this big smile on my face, and it just makes me so happy. The thought that he can do it is absolutely crazy.
The Daddy Bolts, something worth flipping for. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Okay, fathers, another excellent live stream. Appreciate you, dads. I remember three of my 4 daughters were in competitive cheer, and I remember going to Long Beach, Florida, and I want to say DC for their competitions, and it was all the fundraising that is involved in that, and because competitive cheer is expensive. Like I said, it was about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. All 3 girls, I had 3 of my 4 girls in there. They were competitive cheer, and they started cheerleading when they were little. They did all sports, and whatever they wanted to do, we made it happen. So, yes, fathers, I just I felt this live stream was necessary. Girl dads, we don't give up on masculinity raising daughters. We don't. We don't get emasculated raising baby girls. We don't. We don't get emasculated being stay-at-home fathers. We don't. What we bring to our daughters is well needed, and it's necessary, and they will become better women. Any study you look at, data, statistics, in anything you look at when it's talking about fathers and their daughters' lives, it's always, there's a big difference when a father's in their daughter's lives versus not being in their life. You could look at any of the data, any of the studies, and it points to dads are needed, point blank, period. So, all right, fathers, I want to thank you. I want you to have a good week. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being available. And like I said, this is live stream number 38, I believe. So I'm still rocking every week. I will be here doing a live stream. Looking forward to the summer. I've got a lot of things going on this summer. So I'm going to make them happen. It's going to be tight, but I'm going to make my live streams continue to happen, fathers. Okay. So with that being said, dads, God bless you. Keep your heads up. Continue to grind. Do what we do as fathers for our children. Grow dads. Handle your business. All right. Until next week's live stream. E. Martin, I'll holla at you. Peace.